Thank you everyone for coming. It is now exactly 7:01. Welcome to the Jamaica Select Board regular meeting of Monday, June 26th. Did I write the 12th on it? Sorry about that. At 7 p.m. First item on the agenda is to call for any late additions. I have one, and I know Kate has one. I'd like to discuss attendance by our town administrator at a conference addressing emergency readiness. And I'll discuss that at the end. Kate, did you have something?
I just want to make a quick update to people on the Water Street Land Use Committee Pollinator Garden Board.
Great, thank you. Anyone else with any late additions? Looks like not. So first order of business is to approve the minutes from the June 12th Select Board meeting. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, changes, thoughts? No? Nicely done, Sarah. So with that, all those who approve, please say aye. Aye. Great. Motion carries. So the next item on the agenda is to formally approve the Windham County Sheriff contract, sign it, and we were hoping to have them speak. Andy?
They said they were coming.
They said they were coming. All right.
I called the office today and left a message.
Okay.
It's raining.
So,
I didn't say
it's
how-
raining.
I didn't say how they were coming in, but usually I get a call
Right.
from the sheriff.
Right, and Andy tried back again today.
I made
Made the formal appointment.
the last week.
Yeah, when you and I spoke about it.
So maybe he'll come in.
Right, I mean, so we already approved it, so I'm gonna sign it. And then you'll just keep trying, because I think we do wanna
Someone may show up.
conversation. We'll see before we finish they show up, and then we'll come back to that agenda item. So quick update, the board last Thursday in a marathon session met for very qualified applicants for the position of town treasurer and delinquent tax collector. We did meet afterwards and consider some candidates. We are feeling positive about the candidates, and I would think, hopefully, by the next meeting, we'll have some real news. If not, if we don't even put out a note in advance of that. So anybody else want to add anything? Other than I want to personally thank every member of the board and Sarah for putting in it. It was a long session, and I think everybody brought the same energy to the last interview as they did to the first, and that really, so thank you everyone. So the next item on the agenda is I'm going to hand it over to Greg to give us an update on the Culvert and Paving projects. There are schedules in place and locations, and then I'll ask Greg, if you don't mind, just sort of slide into the updated paving RFP.
I can do all of that. So
Thank you.
2 projects as we've noted. One, the initial culvert project kind of aligns with the paving project on South Hill Road to replace 8 of the culverts there in the first 0.8 of a mile. That was scheduled to start today, but it's starting tomorrow. It's in collaboration with Hunter Excavating. They're bringing the culverts and the headers and everything over there tomorrow, and they're gonna start digging, and our guys are helping lay them in and hauling materials needed. It more than likely will go into later next week. There's some timing issues of probably not being able to work it on Friday, just with Hunter and our crew just preparing for the long weekend and things. So our crew, just for the record, has been working 4 days a week. They went to the 4 10-hour days. They haven't done that for a number of years, but traditionally in the summer they had. It's a little bit more efficient that way. So they moved their schedule this week to work Friday. But there's more than likely, including with Hunter's crew, some other projects to be working on. So they're scheduled to work tomorrow. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. With the holiday next weekend or next week, they won't be back out there until the following Wednesday. So hope to be able to get it done in 4 days. So don't want to tie up the road, and more than likely it's gonna be busy Friday anyways, busy, or, so we don't wanna tie up the road during that time period, so, that should take 4 days.
Kate has a quick question.
Sure, yeah.
I just want to say, for one thing, I appreciate that the sign's up there already. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, will that be updated to show the,
We can, most definitely, that was even just tonight, that I found out that we wouldn't be able to get at it until, or get to work on Friday, so that can definitely be changed. And that will help over the weekend too, so people can see it. Yeah.
And to clarify, it will be open when they're not actively working on it.
Right,
So
exactly, yeah,
weekend,
yeah.
and-
Yeah, so during the weekend at night, it's not a full closure, it's only during the working hours, so roughly 6 to 6, I mean, at the extremes, it may be even less than that, so. And again, the more detailed information is posted on the website, and we'll update that too with the recent changes. If there's any questions, you can call here at the office, relay it to me, call Keith, those things. It's a little bit fluid, just by nature. Sorry, I guess
I heard you saying something, but I didn't get the exact. Are you saying that they are or are not going to be working over the 4th?
are not.
Are not, for
So-
what days?
So they will be working tomorrow,
Thursdays.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week.
Gotcha.
And then the following Wednesday,
Following Wednesday.
the 5th.
So they don't come back on the 5th?
Right.
Okay, so the parade on the 4th and all that stuff?
All that stuff, we're not gonna mess, there's nothing going on. I mean, the road will certainly be passable after they're done and in the evening, so. Yeah. And then, the other culvert project, the larger project on Pikes Falls Road is still scheduled to start on July 10th. That's gonna be a little bit pending based on when the material arrives for large culvert, but they're gonna do some prep work, whatnot. Mike has reached out, and the Green Mountain Power moved the pole months ago and moved the power, but there's still 3 utility lines on there, that's all done, the right of way's all been done, all that work, so, that will be a full closure on Upper Pikes Falls. And Keith's coordinating that with the town of Stratton and the town of Winhall also about signage and things, so.
Great.
We'll keep updating that as we go along.
And how long is that?
That's roughly a month.
Month.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that A.S. Clark's or they?
yes, yep,
They
yeah.
told me, Archie caught
Yeah.
me in the store and
Okay.
said he's really sorry that they were gonna try to do some things sooner, but the brook has been going up after it had been like really.
Oh, okay.
He wanted
Yeah,
me to tell you that.
Ah.
I kinda
okay,
forgot
yeah.
to
So
tell
there's
you.
all those things play in, that whether, I mean, even if,
They would have done
Tonight.
some, there were some things that our guys had to do first or something, I don't know if it was that project, but anyway. He said that they haven't forgotten us and that
okay,
the brook was up when they went to do something or.
yeah, there is some prep work that
Right.
they'll be doing,
Okay.
but,
No, I told you.
and everything's weather dependent. Hopefully the brook's not up too much.
Should be up
It will be this
more.
week.
Hopefully the power doesn't go out.
Yeah. And then the segue back to the paving of South Hill Road. Mike reworked an RFP. We, as at our last meeting, we declined the RFPs because the scope had changed a little bit based on the condition of the road. So we put that back out there with a deadline of next meeting for the contractors to come back. Not sure how it's gonna play, if it's gonna be a little bit more, a little bit less, but they're not gonna grind the road all the way down, they're just gonna, fill in the holes and then put a top coat on. So,
And that when, I forget when those are coming back. Is it the next meeting?
so it'll be for the 2 weeks from today.
For 2 weeks from today?
Right, right.
Okay.
With the anticipation that the work will be done, later in summer, August,
Right,
September.
right,
Yeah,
fine.
so we don't have a
But-
time
yeah,
for that part.
Yeah, yeah, but we'll be opening them at the next meeting.
Right,
Yeah,
yep.
perfect. All right,
That's it.
anything
Any
else
other
on that?
questions?
Okay, great, thank you so much. So the next point, Karen Amadon wasn't able to come, so I'm kind of speaking on her behalf. So we've, as you all recall, earlier this year, the town took over, for example, the village cemetery, right here. We now have a total of 8 cemeteries? I'm forgetting the number, but it is 8, right? Okay. So, there are, first of all, the village cemetery fee was extremely low. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you how low it was. And even the other cemeteries, many of them are at $300, some are not. 300 is the highest, which is really not a cost-covering proposition, but I would like to propose that we update all cemetery plot fees to $300. I don't know that that actually needs a formal select board resolution, but I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put up a resolution that we, on an interim basis before we do a study, to increase the fees, level them all at $300. The urgency is that there's actually been a request, so I want to formally increase the fee to $300, which is affordable. The person who called was surprised that it was only $300.
Right.
So we're not going to be, causing a hardship with this. But I do think we're gonna kind of take an examination of regional, just other cemetery, towns with cemeteries, with just every town in our region, and just kind of get a sense of where we stand. And also, we're gonna have a new treasurer, so like to look at the relationship between fees and covering our costs. Fees and income from investments and that relationship to covering our costs. But at least for now.
I'll second it, just.
Okay, oh, yes, please.
Since we're in
Thank
this
you, I'm
section
droning on,
already.
at least for now. Okay, with that second, any further discussion?
I just not, go ahead.
Clarifying, 300 is lifetime, annual, what is 300?
It's
One
like
plot.
It's one plot.
Perpetual
One plot.
maintenance
For lifelong?
It's perpetual maintenance.
And do we already have a cemetery that's at 300 within our?
Yes, we
Okay.
do, but that's, as I recall, that's the highest.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we can revisit that when we have the treasurer in place?
Yes, in fact, I'm going to make sure we revisit that.
I think not that you didn't check Townsend, but I bought
I
some
haven't
property
looked
down
around.
there. I think I paid $480.
I did a.
Even that's low, but, it's better than 300.
I remember telling you because that counted 4 cornerstones,
Yes.
and they let me use 2 of my sisters who passed.
Oh, they did?
Obviously, she's gone.
Where was that? Which one?
Oakwood? Or,
Yeah.
So I know it was 4 and change. Because
And
it
when was
stung a
that?
little bit when I wrote the check, I remember.
When was that?
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay.
So put your order in now. People.
Seriously. So any, Derek?
This isn't related to the fee, but related to cemetery, it doesn't fit anywhere else. Another request was that, and I think it makes sense that we look at, there's a software tag on to, I think it's to NEMRIC, that you can use for cemetery management. And now that the town, we're taking on more and more cemeteries, it's like a database management for cemetery plots. And it's something that,
I spoke to them about it last week because Karen and I and Terry have been talking about it for quite some time. And
Okay.
it's $300 for the module to own it, which is fairly cheap for their modules. But I don't think it's gonna do what we need it to do, but they're gonna let us try it for a couple days,
Oh,
just
that's
to
great.
see if we want it. But we kind of wanted like a mapping so we can say this,
Right.
You
but
can have a plot.
this doesn't map. You can
It's just
scan
names.
documents into it, but I think we're probably looking at something more where we can do it right in the program and just say this cemetery is plotted this, because we don't have good maps here. There's like 2 of the 8 cemeteries are actually plotted out, so we are gonna try the NEMRIC one, but it doesn't sound real promising.
it sounds like that's part of as we take on more cemeteries, to have some management
Yeah.
process there.
I think we have enough already. I mean, we have enough to want to do it. I mean, and there's also, and we can talk about this more as we progress this project, which I'm sensing from you, Derek, that you think it's, it's a meaningful one,
Well,
and
this
I
was somebody
agree.
had approached me about it, and it's
Right.
like, I don't know anything about the cemetery.
Right.
So,
So these are old cemeteries. Some of them are very old,
Yeah.
and we don't have full information. But we have some, we have some. So it's also gonna be a part, there are grants, we're looking for grants a lot these days, for some of this work. So we're gonna look at that, but at the very least, kind of even just knowing what we know and what we don't.
Right, which it sounds like you're in process of
Yeah,
exploring.
and when I have a few minutes, I've been meaning to reach out to the other clerks and see what they use, see if there's a better program, because they.
Go on the listserv, see what you,
So
yeah.
when I have a minute, I will definitely throw that on the list.
Right, because it's more, I think the NEMRIC module is more financial and less kind of holistic.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like you can go on, like you do with Parcel Viewer, you can't just
Map
click
it.
on and see.
Yeah.
Right, and also, you know, when you think about, I was just about to say a regular cemetery, but there's no such thing. Maybe larger, more endowed cemeteries, you know, they can print out a map for you and there, you know, you see where you are, you know. These are smaller, but
There's a lot of
still.
maps here, there, and everywhere throughout the office and the sexton's houses and, you know.
That's the other
It'd be
thing.
nice to have it all in one database.
One place, absolutely. We do, I think we only, I don't even think any one of them is formally surveyed. I don't know that we have Mylars.
Rawsonville is.
Rawsonville is?
I believe
Okay.
that's the only one that is.
Okay. So that's that is not an insubstantial project, as we all know, since we're engaging a similar project right now for town-owned buildings. But it's a similar, you know, just an item that could really be cleaned up. And not clean, that's the wrong word, that's valuable even. That where we can just kind of improve the hygiene, let's just say, and be a little bit more crisp. So anyway, with that, I'd like to take a vote on those who will approve, at least as an interim measure, $300 per plot. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna I'll just address mine, Kate, really quickly. So this is an issue that Derek has mentioned, we've all been thinking about. There's certain what I would, again, sort of in the nature of hygiene, call lists, organization lists, and tying that to emergency management is just something that, you know, I think we've all been talking about, and now that we have Mike, and hopefully Sarah will soon not have two jobs at the same time, you know, just getting on top of that. So having everybody's name and information, you know, priorities and call lists and roles and responsibilities, and then just also kind of looking at the town plan and just as a holistic matter, kind of what to watch out for from an emergency preparedness perspective. That would of course link to the fire department, as well as the emergency, you know, health services, exactly. So there is an upcoming VEPC program on emergency preparedness. It's 2 days, it's kind of a long marathon, and I'm inclined to send Mike to go. And then he would be tasked with kind of, you know, coming to us, telling us what's recommended and how to go about getting each of those steps accomplished. It's certainly well within our education budget, and I don't know that it really needs a formal resolution, but I did want to raise it and say that that's, you know, what I was thinking. And I think Greg is aware of that also, did I? Yeah, you were on the email.
I had seen the original email
Right.
too, probably just
Right.
being as a chair before.
Yeah, do you agree? Do you?
Oh, I do, yeah. And I know Paul's certainly fully involved in a lot of ways, but there's more and more and more and more, and I think
Right.
by having a paid staff position that
Yes.
understands it is gonna be beneficial too. That would be my take on it.
Any other thoughts?
And then Paul
Oh.
and Mike would obviously collaborate.
Yes.
Yeah, do you know if he's planning on going to the tabletop that's set up for the end of the month?
I believe I don't
I
remember if
don't
he's,
know.
I don't know, I'll ask.
Yeah,
This one is in September.
Yeah, that's the emergency management.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
This one is set up for emergency power outages like we just had this last year.
Right,
We're
right.
gonna be tabletop with all the players. Jen is not gonna be able to make it. I signed up for it already, Jen is not, if he's interested.
Oh, actually, I think I'm gonna correct myself. I think he's already signed up. I mean, that's kind of like a this is like a 2-day.
Yeah, no, this is
kind
for
of
1 day.
Right, with a specific target. Yes, he is signed up for that, he is. So if no objection, we'll proceed and he'll attend that.
That's great.
For us. Kate, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know that I'm gonna get choked up because I'm so excited about it. Many people showed up to help, volunteers help us plant, the Water Street Land Use Committee, I should say, help us plant 2,000 flower plugs on the Water Street property, and looks great, and we're really excited, and we've had so much help from so many people, and great rainy day weather. I've been thanking people, writing thank you notes, and they're just, I mean, I'm not going to say the cliche, but it's really true. We're really grateful to all the people who helped, and we're excited to see the flowers start to bloom.
Yeah.
The butterflies and bees come.
Yeah, I was so sick that day. It moved to Monday, and the meeting we had the next day, I was like, yeah.
Sunday,
So,
yeah.
but I saw pictures, and it seemed like there were tons of people, and I happened to be out the day before, and Chrisman, who couldn't come on Sunday, came and did like his section
In the rain.
by himself in the rain the day before. I was like, that is dedication.
Yeah.
So it went really well.
It was wonderful, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and Nancy Jean's group, the Turkey Mountain Buzzards, came and played music, and yeah, it was really wonderful. So,
Yeah.
and everybody who helped.
So it's now been a week
Week and a half.
and how does it looks,
It looks great.
I mean, I was out there last
Not any
week.
flowers yet, but.
right,
Yeah.
but everything seems to be holding, and
Yeah, we have a sprinkler system, and thanks to the Guyclarts for lending their artesian well water. And yeah, it's happening.
all right, congrats. All right, so the next item on the agenda, we'll move to the regular orders of business, and I didn't ask, I did ask you, right? I did ask you if there was anything else that I missed, right? There were no licenses or, yeah.
No, we're done with that.
Yeah.
for the year, I think.
Right, we're past that, we're through that period of time, right, exactly. So, the pay orders, and the timesheets are in the basket, and thank you, Sarah, for putting them online. I'd like to make a motion to approve the timesheets for the town office listers, the highway and transfer station. Okay. Any discussion of those? Any questions?
I didn't see Derek's name on or is that payroll? Yeah.
Because he didn't
stipend?
have his information in yet, so I couldn't
Oh,
pay him.
okay.
That's
We weren't getting paid or.
So
Yeah.
way to embarrass Derek.
I get an email out to him.
Sorry.
Or the board in the town for not telling me.
Yeah.
I would have. I was gonna, but I
did
didn't
we?
wanna
I
say it on camera.
Normally we ask like right after the
No.
election.
Nothing. I signed the
Really?
form and that was it. You guys take advantage of it.
First year.
Right?
Was it the
Yes,
treasurer?
yes,
That's
yes.
Indentured servant,
Alright.
first year.
Yeah, you're really gonna miss that $250,
Shouldn't
right?
say that.
Yeah, you're gonna
Thank
miss
you.
that money.
It's underway.
So, except for the fact that Derek's is
And just
missing.
that, I have been looking at them manually, and it's under Terry's email, is that how you all are?
Yes.
And it's just plastered with the info in there.
See, I just bookmarked it, so
No,
then I just
I know.
click on my bookmark whenever I need it.
Right.
Yeah, with us.
It's
you
all
have
the
to-
prior
You have to
ones.
search within the drive, within the Selectboard folder, you have
Yeah.
to search
Right.
AP or pay orders, because it doesn't come up under all those dates.
Oh,
with
mine
Karen.
does.
I have to look at it,
It's
and
the
then
way I
go
have
out
Google
and
set
come
up,
back
it
in
pops up
and
right to
turn
the
it
top.
Mine's different too.
Oh.
Yeah, mine comes, the most
Yeah,
recent.
I always have to-
Fuss around with it,
We
there's
go
a way
back
to
to the
set
old
it
fashioned
up.
way, just have them in the basket.
no, I've been.
Oh, God. Oh,
Go
please
through them
don't.
quicker in the basket.
Oh, all right, I hear you.
So motion's out, we haven't.
Yes, and it's been seconded. Any further discussion? No. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. The next is the pay orders. I make a motion to approve the pay orders.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? With no discussion, I take the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye, terrific. Paul, John Q. Public this evening?
Public is satisfied.
Oh, excellent. Oh, Andy,
I got
member
one
of
that's
public.
just about a cemetery.
Oh, yeah?
The Rossonville Cemetery, the one behind the, are there two? Is there one? The one?
Well, there's the monument.
Okay, not that one. The one behind the nursery.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sister
the
Garden,
cemetery.
or
That's
whatever.
yeah, right. our
Nelson
mother's
Coleman asked me
Oh,
to look at a tree so I got out there and looked, and there's this, I think he went and put tape around what he's concerned about, but there's this one tree that if it ever fell would take out a lot of stones. So anyway, that was
and it
I
looks
thought
like
it was
it's-
some branches. And if it's one I think it is, well, I'll get back to you, or what do I do? Do I talk to the sextons, or?
I would talk to the road commissioner, who's
Okay.
gonna, then would work with Keith.
Just based on what you
It's gonna
said
take a
already,
tree
I'll go look also,
It will have some tape around
Right.
it.
but,
I think it's one big one.
yeah,
Right.
guessing on what you've kind of said, it's probably beyond the road crews.
No, it'll be a tree company.
It's a tree
It's a
company,
big-
yeah.
Oh, it's
So
that
I'll
big.
go look at it,
That
and then
big.
we can bring forward a recommendation and.
It's all done except for the last 4 branches near the.
We probably should just go out and get some quotes, maybe we'll turn Mike over to get some
Do a
quotes.
triple bid. We have plenty of arborists in the
Yeah.
vicinity.
Yeah.
We can get 3 bids,
So that,
3 overpriced bids.
I kind of, take care of some property up there, and he asked me that some time ago. And I mentioned it to you, but then I finally went and looked,
And you
like I said, it
agreed.
was more than a
You agreed.
branch.
It was more than
If it's-
our own road crew.
The thing is huge.
Okay. We can also,
So- That was,
One of the bids.
so I'm
In the
gonna, if
cemetery,
you're okay with
business.
it, I'm gonna just
Okay.
kind of,
Yeah.
since it's not for our road
Yeah, it's
crew,
in the
I'm gonna
road.
hand that to Mike
yeah,
Tully
I
to
don't
get
think
3
they want to
bids.
mess with that.
Okay.
If Greg wants to look and that's the one that's got the tape on it, I'll bet he, as soon as he left the message, I'll bet he went down there and
Oh,
put
sure.
tape on it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
So,
You put the tape
So-
on it first.
well, yeah, that too.
no, well,
Greg, I'm thinking.
sure he did.
We'll go look at,
Yeah.
I'll go take a look and then I'll let
Right,
Mike know too, if
and
he
then
can
let
just
him-
get some
yeah.
bids.
Just get, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, between Wise Oak and,
Oh, there's a half dozen.
Half dozen right in the
qualified,
area,
Very local,
right.
yeah, exactly.
and isn't there a new
hey,
one?
there's more down
New
here.
one right across the street from down at Pete's old garage,
Yeah.
isn't that a tree
They're
company?
tree people.
Yes.
Car?
Oh, really?
That's what I was
Cars in
thinking
there.
Oh, yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Car.
Yeah. It's 6, 8.
They're pretty
No.
major looking.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. All right.